This is Stephanie, and this is the Mocha Minutes Podcast. Hey guys, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to let you know about something that's a little new here at the Mocha Minutes Podcast. We are now participating in Buy Me a Coffee. So if you haven't heard, buymeacoffee.com is a place where you can show some support and some love monetarily to some of your favorite content creators. That includes me. So it's in the increments of either $1, $3, or $5, and you can do as many as you would like. So I just wanted to let you guys know, would love some support. So if you would go to buymeacoffee.com/Mocha Minutes, I would greatly appreciate it. It will also be in the show notes. Okay, here we go. I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say. No one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Hello, welcome to the Mocha Minutes Podcast. This is Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. Not exactly sure why that song, mind you, I've never seen the movie The Greatest Showman, but that song slaps. Still have never seen the movie. And I'm a musical girl, so I don't know. Maybe I should turn in my musical girly card. Maybe I should. I don't know. But I still have never seen that movie. But when I tell you, seeing her perform this at the Oscars, legendary. The song slaps. It just does. So welcome back to the show. When I tell you, sometimes the world makes it so heavy to hit record. It makes it so heavy. There are some people, I want to know the superpower. Shout out to Victor from Liquor Talk, because he can do it. I am somebody who can't. When it is very, very heavy, I can't hit record because I'm like, I don't want to sound very angry or I don't want to just bust out into tears. But when I tell you, in the last couple of weeks, it has been like I can't even understand how this is our world right now. I just can't understand it. I can't understand how the government has been shut down for at least 30 days at this point, over 30 days. Also, there's a discussion about cutting SNAP benefits and watching people literally use late 1970s, early 1980s talking points, aka Ronald Reagan's welfare queen talking points, is hilarious to me. And to top it all off, I am watching black men hop on the internet to say, hey, yo, fellas, that pussy back to being $40. Weren't y'all the same group that literally were saying black women are gold diggers and I'm more than my money? But now when you seemingly can get something out of it, all of a sudden gold digging is fine. You're fine with somebody digging for not even your gold, maybe your stainless steel. I am so disappointed in every black man that pushed record on their phone to say this in their cars. I am disappointed in every black man who commented or thumbs up or liked this comment or these kind of comments or these kind of videos. I'm disappointed in all of y'all. I'm not disappointed in the ones that said, what the hell is wrong with all of you, and y'all ain't shit, or calling y'all the bitches that you are. I have said this, and I will continue saying, for me, bitch is gender neutral and non-binary. If you being a bitch, I'm gonna call you a bitch. I don't care what you identify as, you are a bitch. And every person who was literally, oh, they cutting SNAP benefits, that means y'all can be predators, because that's basically what you're saying. It's fine. Don't hop in Deontay Kyle's comments, okay? When he's saying, first of all, you a bitch. Y'all a bunch of bitches. And the bad part about it is y'all calling Deontay Kyle a simp, because he's saying, hey, that shit is not cool. I love how some of y'all like to quote Brother Malcolm, but literally leapfrog off of one thing he said. The most disrespectful person in the world is the black woman. We are the most disrespected. And the bad part about it is we get disrespect in the house and across the street and down the road. We get it from everybody. And the group that we should not get it from is black men. But hey, hi, the outside groups do it because y'all do it. And I'm going to keep saying this. If it don't apply, let it fly. Because you being upset with black women saying this, but not upset with the men saying it, says a lot about you. Do not say, well, I'm not like him. Then prove it. Then actually call them out. Stop playing pussy and call them out. Stop getting mad at women and non-binary and femmes calling them out. Stop getting mad that they bring this shit to the light. Because y'all don't get mad at black men who make fun of black women in front of white people, but all of a sudden you care about what white people think. Oh, don't do this and like shame us in front of white people. Why not? Y'all shame black women in front of white people. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got a gun, huh? So here's the thing. I feel, and also Halloween just passed. I feel like it's so funny that folks don't understand how SNAP benefits truly work. SNAP, or Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That is what SNAP is for. That is what it's for. It's like, so everybody says SNAP benefits, that is what it is. Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Notice I said nutrition. So for folks saying y'all can't use y'all SNAP benefits to get your nails done and your hair done, there is nowhere on God's green earth that you can use SNAP benefits to get your hair done. This is what happens when y'all like, oh, y'all on welfare, that's what y'all get. I'm like, time out. That's not how that works. So, I live in Maryland, so let me give you the tea on what this SNAP program does. And this is coming right from the Maryland site, just in case. But I'm pretty sure if you go to your state also has this. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program helps low-income people buy the food they need. Buy the food they need for good health. You'll be able to get SNAP benefits if you work for low wages, are unemployed for work part-time, receive temporary cash assistance or other public assistance payments, are elderly or disabled and live on a low income or small income, or are homeless. Local departments of social services run the program through their local offices. The following basic rules apply in most states, but a few states have different rules. The amount of SNAP benefits you can get is based on the U.S. Department of Agriculture's maximum allotment, which is an estimate of how much it costs to buy food to prepare nutritious, low-cost meals for your household. This estimate is changed every year to keep pace with food prices. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program defines a household as a group of people who live together and buy food and prepare meals together. If your household passes the program eligibility test, the amount of food benefits you get will depend on the number of people in your household and on how much monthly income is left after certain expenses deductions are subtracted. For most households, SNAP benefits are only part of their food budgets. They must spend some of their own cash along with their food benefits in order to buy enough food for a month. For a month. For more information or to apply for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, you should contact your local Department of Social Services. Also, let me give you the benefit. Let me also give you the benefits schedule. The day your benefits are available on your independence card is based on the first 3 letters of your last name. Also, by the way, you only get SNAP benefits once a month. There's a lot of information on this site. I also want to bring this up. There's a lot of some people who are not U.S. citizens are not eligible for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. There are people who are not U.S. citizens are not eligible for SNAP. Most people who are not U.S. citizens, they are not eligible for almost all government assistance. So, dear MAGAs, this is what happens when you don't know anything. You're just regurgitating talking points from people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they just want to sow hate. Some of the many folks who claim to be Christian, and I'm tired of y'all lying on my Jesus, okay? I'm tired of y'all lying on him. For y'all to be so Christian and being fine with children, the disabled or differently abled, the elderly, those facing homelessness, for you to be happy that they're going without food, that says so much about you and so little about Jesus. The Jesus that I serve would never be happy about that. The God I serve would never be championing that. Y'all are not Christian. You are hateful pieces of shit. If you are celebrating people starving or not getting their benefits, you are hateful pieces of shit. No, that is not up for debate. No, that is not a question. You are a hateful piece of shit, and you really need to reevaluate. Because some of the people who just signed up to get SNAP are government employees who are being affected by the shutdown. Oh, and also people who voted for this administration to be here. The administration who does not care about you and literally will lie to you in your face. We watched the president of the United States literally lie on camera about everything going on in this country. He's like, that's not true. No, it is true. Grocery prices have gone up. I was looking at a few things, trying to look at different orders. Do you know there are a couple of places that have tariff fees because, hey, hi, he lied to you. If companies that we get goods from increase their tariffs, we have to pay it. He lied to you and said the other country. That's not how tariffs work. If it's a tariff, which is an additional fee, it is the consumer that pays for it. So if you're looking at certain sites, they might be listing a tariff fee if you look at it. It kind of gooped me the first time I saw it. It's like, whoa, there's a tariff fee? There's some places that it might start to get there. This is egregious, and it is hateful, and it is hard. And now you're watching states like Governor Westmore, just issued a state of emergency for Maryland because of this. You got states trying to fight the federal government. And this is that's awful. But you see, Maryland is joining Virginia, and D.C. So Maryland Governor Wes Moore announced yesterday, Monday, that the state will pay for the portion of federal food stamp benefits not covered by the federal government for November, a reversal in position after the Trump administration agreed in the wake of federal court order to release half of the program's federal funds for the month. After weeks of saying Maryland could not afford to fill the gap in funding during the federal government shutdown, Moore's administration said it will use the state's fiscal responsibility fund to allow about 680,000 residents in the state who rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP, to continue receiving food assistance. SNAP costs about $123 million a month in Maryland. Moore issued an executive order that authorized $62 million to be spent on SNAP benefits this month. Last week, Moore directed $10 million from the same fund to be allocated to food banks across the state to help support Marylanders experiencing gaps or delays in their SNAP benefits. One of the first and most basic priorities of governing is to ensure that families do not go hungry, Moore said in a statement. We will continue to do everything in our power to protect our people in these difficult times. Moore's decision to fund SNAP brings Maryland in line with D.C. and Virginia and follows appeals from Democrats and Republicans in the state who argue that the resources are available to keep the program afloat and that there is a moral obligation to give food assistance to those in need. The food stamp benefits were in limbo over the weekend as funding that had been allocated to last through the first month of the shutdown ran out on Saturday. Two federal judges on Friday ordered the Trump administration to use the money from a $5.5 billion contingency fund to keep SNAP partially funded through November, but the federal government did not initially act to distribute the funds. On Monday, the Trump administration announced that it would use that contingency fund to pay for about half of November's benefits. I think this is a proud moment for our governor and our state, Delegate Ben Barnes, he is a Democrat from Prince George's County, said in response to Moore's announcement. Barnes, who chairs the House Appropriations Committee and spoke adamantly last week in favor of fulfilling funding SNAP benefits through the holiday season if the shutdown continues, said that Moore has the support of the General Assembly in allocating state funds to cover the gap left by the federal government. I'm really happy he's leading with his values, as I know he always does. As the funding crisis grew and members of both political parties accused their opponents of using SNAP as a political pawn during the shutdown, governors from both red and blue states scrambled to find ways to keep food assistance flowing without federal help. SNAP serves more than 1.6 million people across the Washington region, including about 15% of households in D.C., nearly 10.4% in Maryland, and nearly 10% in Virginia, according to the Census Bureau 2023 American Community Survey. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin was the first leader in the region to commit to using state dollars to pay for SNAP benefits through November. His plan, called Virginia Emergency Nutrition Assistance, delivers 1/4 of monthly benefits to recipients each week using cash from the state surplus. Those payments began on Monday and are scheduled to continue as planned. We will continue to distribute funds as scheduled to ensure Virginians in need don't go hungry because they are being used as political leverage by congressional Democrats, which... Okay, Youngkin. He said Virginia will continue to work closely with federal partners and will provide updates as federal guidance changes. D.C. announced its plan to fund SNAP benefits last week. The city will spend about $30 million in reserve funds to support more than 140,000 D.C. residents who rely on the aid. A portion of that money will also continue to fund the Women, Infants, and Children, or WIC, program, which allows over 8,000 households in D.C. to afford items such as infant formula and nutritious food while providing new mothers with breastfeeding support. A spokeswoman for Mayor Muriel Bowser, who made the decision Thursday, said that the first round of payments went out on Saturday to SNAP and WIC recipients, and that D.C. is moving forward with the commitment regardless of Friday's order from a federal judge in Rhode Island requiring the Trump administration to help shoulder the burden of the cost by releasing contingency funds. On Monday, Moore expressed trepidation about ongoing expenses if the shutdown continues beyond November and places blame on Trump and Republicans for the gap in SNAP funding. No state can fill the enormous gap created by Donald Trump and his administration. It's time for the federal government to do its job and fully fund food assistance. So there's several things here. So shout out to this areas. Youngkin, I saw that swipe. But here's the deal. And I know folks are trying to act like Homegirl has done a complete 180. Let me tell you something. Marjorie Taylor Greene has barely done a 45 degree. Okay. Her mentioning that the Republicans can pull the nuclear option and reopen the government is not like breaking news. You know who also knew that? A lot of people who are political analysts. The Democrats know that too. If y'all really wanted to open the government, you could. But saying it's the Democrats' fault when you have the nuclear option because you have the majority is wild to me. So if you don't know what the nuclear option is, in the United States Senate, the nuclear option is a legislative procedure that allows the Senate to override a standing rule by a simple majority, avoiding the 3/5 supermajority normally required to invoke cloture on a measure. The term nuclear option is an analogy to nuclear weapons being the most extreme option in warfare. So that means, that's why Marjorie Taylor Greene is bringing that up, because guess who has the majority in the Senate? The Republicans. So if they really wanted to do something, they could do it. And by the way, during this administration, since he's been back in office, they have done the nuclear option. But y'all not doing it for this, meaning that a lot of federal employees have been going without a check for at least a month. It's really not the Democrats moving and making this. I'm like, oh, the Democrats are using it as a pawn. No, it's the Republicans, honey. Because really, y'all could really do this nuclear option. But also, the reason why they were towing the line is because they didn't want millions of people to go without health care. This is where this is. One, people are starting to notice, because, right now is around the time for open enrollment for a lot of businesses. People are noticing that the premiums are going to go skyrocket. And the Democrats are trying to avoid this. I mean, they can't do too much, but that's what they're trying to do. And the bad part about it is that what's sad and pathetic is that while hundreds of people in Congress are fighting like children, or there's people on certain sides acting like bullies, the red side, millions of people are getting harmed. It's not hundreds, it's not a dozen, it's millions. And to top it all off, there are black men who are making jokes saying, now you're going to need us. Hey, hi, sir. If you were there for your children, like it should be, why would you be celebrating your children going without food? Why would you be celebrating that when it don't seem like you are involved or participating in taking care of them? Somebody on TikTok, and I think I'm going to add her TikTok to the end of this, said, you know what I don't ever see? I haven't seen these men, the men that are celebrating. If you're not celebrating, please understand, nobody's talking about you. I promise you, we are not talking about you at all. We're not talking about you. She said, you know what I don't see? Men stepping up saying, oh man, I got to do some more for my kids because, they don't live with me, but, they're staying with their mama and the benefits are being cut. You notice you don't really see too many of them, if you have seen them at all, saying that, no, they are celebrating. Oh, I guess you got rid of us. So now see what happens when you get rid of us. I'm like, y'all are pathetic. Y'all are literally pathetic. And also, I think one of the guy who was in the car saying like, oh, pussy going back to $40. Why homeboy come turn around and then say, hey, I just want to apologize. I was just doing for the clout and for jokes. No, you meant it. You were just happy you were going viral until the majority of people going, girl, what are you doing? And I will say shout out to the dudes who called you out. Because I think that it wasn't even the women calling you out. I think it was the men who were like, are y'all being serious right now? Because now it's like, we don't have to say anything. That's the problem. Women have been saying this for so long. It's like, y'all need, like, look, we are tired of talking. Y'all do it. Y'all, that's the thing. That's the thing about accountability, Cam Newton. Here's accountability. You, like, because I swear he'd be like, women need to hold themselves accountable. Y'all start first. You need to hold each other accountable right now. And y'all don't. And they get mad when we call y'all out. You need to hold y'all brothers accountable. It can't be a handful of dudes publicly. It need to be more y'all. And don't be saying, well, I do in my home. Girl, we not. If you do this on a regular, baby, we not talking about you. And I need y'all to stop thinking like, baby, y'all are the minority. I need y'all to understand that. It seems like in social media world, the majority of y'all are not standing up. And so I will give the flowers to the men, because it seemed like more men were like, y'all are pathetic, man. And y'all are you are like so desperate to do a joke that you're not looking at the big picture here. There are millions of people that's going to get harmed by this. And dear white people, dear white women, y'all are the welfare queens, not us. White men, y'all are the welfare queens, not us. Y'all, not us. Majority of welfare fraud, top 10, it ain't a black face there. It's barely a female face, if not for nothing. And now that it's hurting you, now y'all want to cry. Girl, don't cry now. We tried to tell you don't vote for this man. We tried to tell you he don't give a damn about poor people. We tried to tell you and y'all kept going. The No Kings thing, I think is really funny, and I think I'm going to hop on off this mic. It's funny that white people were looking for black people at the No Kings protests. They're like, where are all the black people? Home. You want to know why? When we go out protest, the National Guard is there. The militarized police is there. Do you notice that you didn't hear about no people getting arrested in the No Kings protest? You want to know why? Because when no black people out there. Y'all actually can, literally, your right to protest is not encroached on. It's encroached on us. And the reason why a lot of us were like, oh girl, no. I will high five you. I will beep if I'm driving past your ass. But I will not be out there. You want to know why? Because it ain't our fault. It's y'all fault. I don't want to hear about this purple revolution. How dare y'all disrespect Prince's name? Do not sit in my face and say you regret your vote. I don't care. We're going to tell you this. We don't care. Oh, what is that supposed to do? How was that supposed to help anyone say you regret your vote? I'm like, oh, okay. I regret you standing in front of me. I regret you not listening to any of us when we spoke. Because now everybody's going to get hurt because you couldn't look past your own nose. You only cared about yourself. You didn't look at the bigger picture. You didn't do bird's eye view of what this administration will do to this country. What it will put into place and harm people. You did not care. And now you want us to sit there and care when we fucking warned you. We told you that this would happen. Believe me. I'm somebody that when I'm right, I'm fine. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm like, I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I have no problem. This is one thing I never wanted to be right about. That he is going to fuck up this country again. I said that. He's going to fuck this country up. I don't like being right about this. This is one thing. Trump is one thing I do not like being right about. Because it does not help me to be right. It's like, what am I going to do with that? What can I can't spend it in a store. It just gives me no social currency. It sucks to be right about this. Because that means millions of people, no matter race, ethnicity, creed, nationality, it does not matter. Millions of people are going to be harmed. And y'all did not care. And now you want us to care about your regret. You literally can stick that up your ass. Let me get off this mic. This has been the Mocha Men's Podcast. I will be back. Thank you for listening. Let me fix this up. I will be back.